Hey everyone, welcome back to the
Wolfpack. Today, we're going to show you a quick preview of Call of Duty. And if you want to see some gameplay on it, well, go ahead and check out this link right here where I completely destroy Bonds. Spoiler alert. What are we doing again?
Okay.
No.
Well, I didn't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to argue with you because they just gotta watch and find out. So Tim, this is Call of Duty, the board game. Now, what is the purpose of this game? This is a 2-player only or what?
Yeah, so the prototype that you'll see today is only showing 2-player mode, but there is going to be like a 3 to 4-player mode down the line, like a bunch of other things you can add on.
Okay.
We're going to run down like the basic mode first, how that game works, and then we'll show the advanced components that we have available to us today.
And how do you win this game?
Okay, first 1 to 5 points wins. Super simple. We start off with some pre-programming for movement, and then once we initiate combat, there's like several steps that we take in order to complete each phase, and basically first to 5 kills, or we also get some points from controlling the flag too. First to 5 points wins.
Are those the only 2 ways to score points?
Those are the 2 main ways to score points for the modes that we have now.
Okay, so by killing each other and by gaining points with the flag.
Exactly.
So this is, I think in the mode for Call of Duty, it'd be capture point.
Capture the flag? Is that the one? Isn't it capture flag mode?
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
It's capture a flag. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we know how to win the game. First person to 5 points wins.
Yep.
We can score points by maintaining control of the flag or by killing our opponent in this 2-player mode. So how does a turn work?
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 movement tokens, and then we're going to pre-program our movements on the board. You'll notice here on the board how there are a bunch of like colored lines. This is for line of sight. As soon as one of our operatives meet in the same color of line of sight, then we start combat. If your figures are pointing in the same direction as another operative, like over here, then in this case, we would gain an advantage, which allows us to move across the tactical board. Ultimately, it's going to give us more damage bonus points as we start the fight. But if I'm facing a different direction, then I'm going to lose that bonus and you would gain that bonus only instead.
Okay. And we would still go into combat.
Yep.
So how does that work?
Okay. So let's go ahead and pre-program our moves real quick to see how that works.
Yes. So in the beginning, we both start on this red. I start on the red token.
Yep.
Red is the best.
Yep.
And then we're going to look at our own boards, our own player boards, which is a copy of the map right in front of us.
Exactly. A little mini map.
Now, we have a sprint token, and sprint token doesn't replace a move, but allows you to go forward faster. You're sprinting. And once you use it, it's used up until you die, and then it resets, right?
Yes. And then also, if you get caught in line of sight during a sprint, then you're going to get some negative points there. So you'll be moving down this tactical track, which means that you're going to be getting some loss and damage there.
All right, I am ready. Oh, one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to use all your movement tokens?
You do not, but again, this is a prototype. So right now, from what we're understanding, is that we don't have to use our movement tokens and we can stay in the same spot. And we'll also introduce the ADS mode in 1 second.
What does ADS stand for?
Aim down sight.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So first movement is me staying same spot. You?
I'm going to move right here and face down this direction.
Okay. Second movement for me, facing this way.
I'm going to do sprint right here, then face down this blue line right here.
Okay. Third movement for me, here.
And my third movement is at the flag facing down the yellow line.
Shoot. Okay. Well, mine is going to be a sprint to here.
Okay. And
Same
I
spot.
also have the red flag token first.
Right.
Okay.
So from here, now here's where like the core gameplay of Call of Duty works. So how does combat start here?
You're going to choose 7 dice of any color. You're also going to have a starting count of 3 cards in your hand.
Yep, we can draw it now.
For the basic mode. And you're going to play one of your cards face down in your combat card area on your board. And then you're going to choose your combination of 7 dice. Do you want to explain how the dice work?
Yeah. So once we play our combat card face down, we'll choose our dice. Red is the aggression dice. That just means that it's going to cause the most damage, but it's not the most important one because also there are blue dice. This is our aiming dice. If we miss our shot, then our red dice pretty much doesn't matter at all. And then our blue dice is the defensive dice. So this is going to block the other player's aiming dice. So for me, I'm going to choose this amount of red dice, this amount of blue dice, and this amount of green dice. So we choose 7 total. And then once we play our card, we also are going to roll and reveal the card at the same time. Nice. So you went with 0 defense for your action, which may or may not hurt me in the end. But first, in order, first thing we're going to do is we're going to place a cube on 0 for our tactical board. And then since we are in close range, this is the bottom bar of our weapon. And we're going to place it on our starting spot here for the weapon. And then we're going to reveal our combat card. And now here comes all the action of the game.
What does your combat card say?
Mine is controlled shot. It's going to give me +3 aim.
Okay.
Yours?
Mine is hold ground. Gives me +1 aim, 1 shield, and avoid all wounds in this combat.
Avoid all wounds? Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
wounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. So from here, we're going to count how many lightning symbols that we have. For me, I have 1, 2 shown here on the green dice.
I have 0.
So I would gain first tactic, first shot, which means I get like the first hit, right? So I would go 1 to the right on the tactics board. And then we go into counting our aim dice and our green dice because none of us have wounds yet and no penalties will occur right now.
Okay. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7 aim.
Okay.
Minus your 2 green.
Yep.
And there's nothing else on the card. So
right.
7 minus 2 is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I move up 5 on the bottom track here.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I almost made it.
And then from there, my aim is at 9 minus
1.
Actually 1. So that would be 8. So I get to move up 8 spaces.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right into the red.
Oh no.
For some higher damage.
Oh,
okay.
This is really bad. And now we count up all the reds and your tactical track and your close range. You count up everything.
Yeah. So.
Oh, this is really, really bad.
You go first.
I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14.
14 red dice.
Plus 4.
Plus 4 for your aim track because your yellow for the aim goes
18.
into. Yep. 18 damage. Okay. For me, I don't know if I reached that though. I have 2, 4, 6 from a red dice. And then I'm looking here on the aim track. I'm in the red. So I would gain 7 damage. 2, 4, 6 plus 7. So 13 plus my tactical track. That's 14, 15. You still have 18.
18, but I get no wounds.
You get no wounds for your card because technically, Banz would have gained a wound in a normal game if you're within 5 damage of each other. And I'm what, like 3 less? Yeah, 3 less.
Yes, and so because of my card here, my combat card, it says avoid wounds this combat round.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't get this token here.
Right. So then my operative would die. Banz would gain a point for red, and she would also gain another point for controlling the flag. That's already 2 points. And again, we're going to 5. Okay, so that's pretty much how the game works. There are a couple of other things you should know for the advanced modes. We can actually turn our player board and our weapon board to the other side in order to show the advanced mode. So that, again, was the basic mode. For the advanced mode, we now have kill streaks. Banz, how does kill streaks work?
So in the video game, kill streaks are you keep on killing people until you die, and then your kill streak is broken.
Yep.
When you gain kill streaks, you gain extra stuff to help you fight. So in this board game, you actually keep your kill streak even though you die. So you just stack your kill streak points until you have enough. And in this mode, we have airstrike or RCXD, and those will gain you tokens to put on these tokens. So when you're moving, you can plan an airstrike secretly before you carry out your turn.
Yep. And then airstrikes would pretty much cause damage at a designated spot. And then what does the other one do?
This one, it cancels the operator's remaining actions.
Pretty bad.
Yes, that is really bad. So these are both very powerful in this board game.
Yeah. And then on top of that, for the advanced mode, we also can choose a starting item. But Banz actually gets 2 starting items for her special operatives because our operatives have some asymmetric abilities. For Ghost, I have Shadow Strike, which means if the operative I'm fighting against doesn't or isn't facing me, then I would gain a bonus damage for my tactics. What about yours?
And General Shepherd actually starts out with a .44 Magnum.
And that Magnum is extremely deadly because...
Yeah, so if you land on the same space as me, I basically just shoot you. Point blank. Bam, you're dead.
Instant death.
No fight.
Instant point, just like that. So we have the asymmetric abilities for our operatives. We have items that we start with. We have to choose between a mine, the point blank weapon that you automatically start out with, and then we also get a frag grenade. How does a frag grenade work?
You just chuck it, and then it can explode within 2 nodes, and it damages adjacent opponents.
Yeah, so that one is really bad, and I died many, many times playing earlier for this.
It was great. You need to check out that video.
Yeah.
I know Tim said he won, but just check it out.
Yeah, I did. And then we also have mines too. Mines, you will place them as you're moving, and then if an opponent walks into that, they'll trigger it, and that's also an instant death as well. So the last thing I wanted to mention,
Instant death here.
Instant death there.
I don't know where the mine was laid. And even if it's another round, it could still be active in a future round until it activates.
there are 3 other components that are added into the advanced modes. One is recruits, which are, just think of them as like assists. They aren't as powerful as operatives, but they can follow you along the board and attack other enemies as well. And then we also have 2 other ones, which are...
Yeah, so the first one is going to be reload. In the original mode, whenever you die, you can draw up to 3 cards again. However, on reload in the advanced mode, each character has their own number of reload token. For the M60 LMG, I have the 5 card reload. And if I plan that out, then I can actually draw up to 5 cards again during my turn, during my movement. I don't have to wait till I die. The second thing is the ADS, or the last thing is the ADS. And ADS is really useful. We used it a lot during our gameplay. You place it on your movement token, and once you do, you cannot move again for the rest of that round, and you have to point in the direction and stay in that direction. And if you get into combat, you're going to start 1 spot or a few spots, depending on your weapon, ahead of the normal spot you would start at for this aim track.
Exactly. And that is how Call of Duty works, both the basic mode and some advanced components that we have as well.
It's very straightforward. We caught it after a few rounds, and then we just kept on rolling, kept on moving. The game doesn't take long to play.
Yeah, because as soon as you start moving, I think the majority of the actions happen in how combat plays out. Yeah.
And just because you're doing really well in the beginning doesn't mean you're going to win.
No, definitely not. With that said, thank you all so much for joining us on today's preview video. Hope you enjoyed it and got some info from how Call of Duty works. Again, check out our gameplay. Need to see it. And with that said, thanks, Banz, for being here.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.